Welcome back, survivors and bug hunters alike. I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return to Mandibles, where we're going to go into a new hunt. Now, we are very close to being able to do our first Jaekelopterus hunt. However, for that, I do want to use the railgun with the double ammo, because let's face it, I am a terrible shot. If Carnivores Plus and the Carnivores series and well, I shouldn't say walkthroughs, because I'm not very skilled enough to be able to give a walkthrough. But if any of the series have taught any of our viewers anything, it's that my aim is a little unsteady. So before we're going to do that, we are going to instead look at trying to do our best with getting a few more points. And for that, I think we will be doing another proto-puga hunt. These pack hunters, because we've always encountered them mostly in packs, are pretty dangerous, but we can even go after them in somewhere like the Hive, which... Or should we do the Fallen Jungle or Veterum? You know what, let's go to the Hive. We've only been on there a few times, and it's always been a very stunning map to explore and roam about in, so we'll see if we can make this almost like a mixed episode. Just maybe try to get a few proto-puga, and maybe around the 10-minute mark in the recording, we'll turn in the points with whatever we got, and from what we have there, we will then go on and try getting our first Yakelopterus. Because I am very excited to see this guy. It is such a cool looking creature with the texture work and the model. I'm very excited for him. But all is looking in order, so let's hop off and prepare our hunt, shall we? To the Hive. Okay, so we are all loaded in here now, and nothing charging at us right off the bat, which is good. And we're actually in a rather unique starting spot. We've never been started way up here on the very northern shores of the map before. So this should give us quite an interesting opportunity to try getting these proto-puga down. Oh, actually, maybe I need to adjust the filter just a little bit, just because I can kind of see... You might actually have been able to see in the video that I'm accidentally blowing the top of the windscreen a bit, so I think my mic might just be a little low. It's kind of hard. I don't want to block... There we go, just block the logo on the bottom of my monitor, but not the screen itself. Okay. Let's see, do we want to live dangerously? Let's live a little dangerously and call one in. I do hear one. I think it's just directly ahead of us. No, that's just ambience. At least I hope it is, otherwise we're kind of screwed, aren't we? Oh! Okay, there's at least one over there. Again, these things, from what we've encountered so far, they almost spawn in packs in a way. So we gotta be careful, because the one you see in front of you is probably going to be the one that distracts you while another one takes you down. It might have just been, like, the luck of the draw... Okay, is it moving fast? No, okay, it's going slow. It's just going on the other side of the hill there, so... Just gotta be ready, because it's, I think, only 2 shots to take one down. Oh yeah, there's... They'll phase right through trees, or certain trees at least, so we do gotta be mindful of that as well. You thought I was lying when I said they came in packs. But I guess I was having a little trouble on the hill getting towards us, but it's a good thing that we heard it, because you can hear some footsteps, it's just... You gotta be very open to hearing them. So we still have 4 shots. We can at least get 1 more. But I think between those 2 and possibly the 3rd, that might be enough for us to actually go after the Yakelopterus a lot sooner than I expected. But it really does seem like they spawn very close together. I don't know if it's actually something you can control through the, like, making the programming, the coding. It may be, but... It could just be my terrible luck, as you guys know. If you watch any of this series for long enough, sometimes it's my own stupid decisions that land me in problems, other times I just seem to have a bit of bad luck. But everything is okay, we got those 2 down. We'll go a little further, because it would be nice just try to get 1 more. But I don't know if I want to call it in, just because, again, if we're always seeing around 2 at a time, we basically can't miss a shot if that's the case. At least maybe if we stumble upon one, or we just kind of find it walking about, we might not have another one come after us. Or is a case of just... No, not last week's video, because last week's was Amethyst Duskland, and that Actually, this is being recorded before the feedback's really come in from that, but I incredibly so enjoyed Amethyst Duskland. That was a beautiful map. And it does remind me of my first time playing the Elder Scrolls. Yeah. It shouldn't be a mouthful, although it kind of is. The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind with the graphic sound overhaul that kind of came out for it. Or, I shouldn't say came out for it, but was developed by the community, or the modding community as well, because even if it's an older game, like, Carnivores, I think, is one of the series that really shows. Even if the style might seem dated, there's still a timeless classicness to it, where if you do update a few things, get the right textures in place, and add kind of enough to it, or just have a good sense of what you want to accomplish with it, you can really make some very beautiful and stunning things. Like Amethyst Duskland was a prime example of that. The MGS0, I think it was like 3.0 overhaul that I played was another one like that, where it almost like feels really, really interesting just to see it. It's not something like Skyrim where, I mean, Skyrim always looked good when it first came out. But something about it, almost because it was a little too close to realistic, I think it also lost some of the magic to it. Or where Magic the Elder Scrolls games kind of are meant to convey with it. But when you look at a game like Morrowind, you feel that there's potential for magic and fantasy more prevalent there. Skyrim, not as much, if I'm honest. I mean, if you take out the magic part of it, Skyrim doesn't all change that much, and none of the environment really screams like there's super magic or fantasy to it. It's almost could be just like almost like a, I don't want to say medieval, but like, or maybe that is what I'm looking for. Like a medieval RPG in a way, sort of like the Kingdom Come Deliverance, I think was one of the ones that recently came out, where its style's not going to change and there's not really all that much really taken out of it. I mean, sure, you do remove some things like the dragons and some of the enemies, but overall the world doesn't change all that much. But you look at something like Morrowind, where it had the big mushrooms and some of the cities and the towns, that you would really feel that it feels magical compared to something else, really. And that's something I feel like they captured really well with the Hive and the Amethyst Duskland and like a lot of the Carnivores maps, is they managed to capture that essence of wilderness, of wild, of alienness too, yet also not like unbelievable you're taking out of it, you're actually drawn into it. And this has gone on a lot longer than I thought it was going to, in all honesty. I guess I got pretty sidetracked on this little topic, didn't I? Apologies on that. Jeez, I got so distracted we actually don't have anything around us we can call in, so you know what? Let me see how many points we got from those two, because I feel like they might be a good reward. Okay, so we're back. We are back in the hunt menu, and indeed, we did get enough points. Just enough. So we only have 7 surplus, but that is enough to go after the Jaekelopterus. These huge riptorids patrol the oceans of planet FMMUV-32. During the summer months, they arrive on the shores of the AO sector en masse to mate and nest. Afterwards, they will travel inland to hunt and regain their strength before returning to the sea. So sight, scent, hearing, all maxed out. So they are probably going to pick us up well before we are ready for them. But we're going to have the railgun on our side. So let's see. I'm guessing it's going to be 3 shots to take one of them down. They've been built up as kind of the biggest, baddest bug. Well, second compared to the Nautilus. But they just seem like they're going to be tanks compared to everything else. Which is saying something when you compare it to the proto-puga and the manipulator. So you guys, title's probably going to be something about Yakelopterus, so you guys have been wanting it. I have too. Let's hop in and actually show them off. Okay, so we're all loaded in here now. Nothing from looks of it up here on the other side of the Gates of Dawn. It's like, I actually can't remember if this takes place on the same planet as Carnivores Triassic or not. I think it does, but I'm, again, not entirely certain. I know it's basically a sequel mod to Mandibles is a sequel mod to Triassic. That's it. Triassic, then Mandibles. That's the smart way of putting it, not the way I was trying. but I can't remember if they do take place on the same planet or not. There are, like, I think the sort of Easter egg of the Gojirosaurus carcasses around, or skeletons. I'm not entirely sure if they are the same world or not. Like, there's actually a very rich lore behind the Carnivore series and games that I'm not entirely sure where you would find it all. I know reading certain map descriptions and some flavor text in-game will help you a little bit, but I don't think there's really, like, a note system that kind of has become more of the modern thing for games. Just kind of convey the lore with. I don't want to call one of them in yet, just because I'd rather not face one in the tight little corridor of here. So we'll just kind of run our way through quickly. All we have is the railgun, so if we do need it in a pinch, we just pull it out right away. Just kind of rush our way through here. And then we do have the, I probably suppose now infamous turn back sign. Oh, Lord. Okay, there's our first Jaekelopterus. I was not expecting it to. Jeez, it almost looks like something out of StarCraft in a way. Okay, I don't know how many shots it took, because for some reason, I don't know if any of the initial ones connected, but... Oh, Lord, that's where it is. Oh, Lord. Uh-oh. Oh, no. You stay... Oh, crap. Okay, we're going to exit just to see how many points the one was, but I was not expecting the aerial assault. Okay, so good news is we are back and we are alive, but I was not expecting them to hold the tail up like that. I was expecting it kind of down, and I thought it was almost like joined. It almost looks like little prongs. I'm trying to think of what it reminds me of. It reminds me of like something from StarCraft with the Protoss race. Like just how it's kind of like this weird, almost like standing pylon in a way, and the pointing tail, like... I don't know what happened on the initial, if it actually did take an entire clip to take them down or not, but... We're going to hop back in, hopefully get a little bit more of a controlled engagement with one, because I don't know how many of the initial shots actually were hitting or not. It seemed like none of them did. But we definitely heard it when it was starting to move up top, so here's hoping we can be a little bit more controlled and count properly how many shots it takes to down one of these big guys, but that's a pretty exciting way to start with them, isn't it? Okay, everything's looking good, so let's get back into a new hunt, and we will stick to Gates of Dawn. Maybe on Fluvius Veterum we'll try them next, but let's see how we do with the points and everything once they come in. So, off we go to next Yakelopterous hunt. Okay, so we're back in the Gates of Dawn. Oh, well, this is actually a very good opportunity to try with them. But like, uh-oh. Did it already... Okay, there's 1, 2, maybe 3. How do you take these things down without double ammo railgun? It's like, you guys saw, I maybe missed only 1 or 2 shots, and even then, that would be about 6 with the railgun. But look at this. It's incredible. I just want to make sure I don't hear any others coming at us, because that kind of ruined the initial takedown, but look at this giant. Oh, this was definitely worth the wait. Like, again, the tail looks so alien, and it really does look like some kind of building almost when it's pointed up like it is. The claws are really interesting here, and how many legs does it actually have? Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 sets? Okay, so mandible, there's 1 leg, there's 2 legs, looks like 3, and this might be 4, so 5. Yeah, it almost has... 4 kind of like the insect tip or the narrow tip that we're used to, and then a couple of almost like flipper legs behind those, but look at you. You are truly remarkable. And it's so just alien and different from anything we've seen carnivores before, or just wow. This has really left me speechless. The texture isn't too stretched out, so that way it looks distorted on it. It feels powerful and dangerous, and I do admit maybe a little too tanky considering how many railgun shots that took to take down. Because we basically can only go after 1 to 2 at a time. I don't know if you could even take these down with, like, the minigun on its own. It's like, that's something I don't know. Is maybe the health might be a little inflated on some of the roster, but I can't argue with the appearance or just the feel of how powerful. This feels like the apex animal of the area. Powerful, dominating. Hell, basically, with the tail up, it looks like a little tower of sorts, like, this is my domain and I'm coming towards you. Oh, very, very well done job on the Jaekelopterus. I have to say, I think it's my favorite one on the roster. It might be a little too healthy in, like I said, a bit too much of a tank, but then again, for the final animal, you do want it to be a tank. I just think it might be, maybe ease it down to need 4 railgun shots or 5. I think maybe going into the 6 range, it kind of seemed like, is just, it might be my bad aim again, but I feel like that's a little too much where it's almost necessity to have it. And unless you are kind of like exploiting the game to make it stuck in circles, I don't know if you get a really good chance of taking it down like I did. But, oh, beautiful is what I gotta say. Is as much as you might be looking at it saying, the texture is so low quality, and like, you can see pixelation and stretching, and you know what? No. I'm saying right now, she's a beauty. She is a beauty. And I am very happy to have been able to take her down and just gone through the journey to get up to her. Now, what's next after her are the Nautilus, which we'll probably do another episode on maybe next week. Let's actually go back and see the points again, because I think we basically got 31. So let's just head back to the menu, give her a little kiss goodbye. Aw, probably pick out who knows how many possible diseases from doing that, but let's head back and see what the points are at. We were at, I think, 38 surplus. Yeah, so we're back into the game, and we're only up to 69 points surplus now, so that kind of does go to show you just how much that even if they take 500 to unlock, they still don't give you a super high amount in return. That's where I think a lot of the Carnivore series kind of has a little hiccup, where as much as it's the points to put in, not exactly a return investment out unless you do it very often. So we do have a little bit more time, and with how beautiful and incredible it was, I do want to see the Yakelopterus on Fluvius Veterum. I just want to change that view range to default so we don't have the issue with the flickering foliage. Everything's looking good. Let's go get us another one of these incredible apex creatures. So back to a brand new hunt. Okay, so we are loaded back into the Fluvius Veterum here on a new hunt. And I don't know where to even start looking for these guys, but with how their tails have been, it's basically you see them well before they're too close to you. And I do really want to try counting properly just how many shots the railgun does take to down one. Like, they are an incredibly beefy bug. Well, actually, I'm not even sure I should call them a bug, because I don't know exactly what they'd fall under classification. Even the old sea scorpions, or our sea scorpions. Because the Yakelopterus and all the animals in the Carnivores mods and franchise are generally actually just aliens, and we've just kind of given them names that mostly match to what our paleontological record is on Earth. So the Yakelopterus are actually an alien entirely, it's just that we've named them something that they remind us of on Earth, or used to be on Earth. This isn't exactly cloning the animals to be on a hunting reserve. This is, well, I mean, the entire planet, I guess, is a hunting reserve, but it's nothing like general interference with the company or hunters to actually make the animals and create them. Granted, a few mods have, I think, actually... The annoying mosquito. Oh lord. There's one. Like I say, it's just so commanding how it comes out like that full display. Okay, do we want to try... let's do... I really wish I had a good way of being able to count, so maybe actually this will be good for us. Yeah, that was 5 shots that all connected, so this should down. Nope. Oh, come on, are you kidding? Okay. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Yeah, we're gone. Ooh. I mean, we're not exactly in the claws, but you get the... Well, exit. We weren't exactly in the claws, but you get we were basically smashed, but yeah. A little too tanky. If it takes you the entire clip of your highest rated weapon, and then some, a little too tanky. Just a little too tanky. Dial it back, so I'd say 5 shots from the railgun should down your apex. That really makes me wonder how strong is the Nautilus. Like, I can maybe see their HP reverse the Nautilus because it's the super apex, give it that, but I don't know, that just feels a little too tanky. But other than that, flawless implementation, and unique kill animation is always appreciated as well. That's actually probably something I should look at doing for the game as well, is basically we get killed compilation, where we show off the animals actually getting better on us and taking us down. I don't know if the Yakilopterus and the whole Carnivores will, or the Arthropleura. But actually, I think we've basically been shown getting killed by everything else so far, haven't we? We got killed by Makrokana, as bad as that was, we did. Don't think those two can take you down. I'm not sure if we've been taken down by Pulmonoscorpius. We may have. I don't think Arthropleura can. I think we haven't taken down by Crotoribus. Definitely taken down by Manipulators. And proto-puga has gotten us once or twice. And Jaekelopterus, we just got smashed. But I think we're going to wrap the episode there. So, thank you guys very much for joining me on another episode of Mandibles. There are still probably a few episodes to go. We got the Nautilus to get done, and we do have the DLC animals that we didn't quite feature last time we took the DLC for a spin as well, so we may switch over to do that as well. In the meantime, though, very happy we actually got up to the Yakilovtorous and could show it off. Texture is great, model is great, animation is hilarious. Just the presence of it is superb. Just a bit too much health considering just how the game kind of is. But we'll end things there. If you do like the series, be sure to leave a like or comment right down below, and if you want to support the channel, maybe think about subscribing. You'll just get to know that every day at 1 Eastern, there's at least one video that goes up, and you get to just kind of keep in tabs and help support us as we grow and keep a presence on YouTube. Until I see you in the next episode of Those Survivors, please remember to take care and stay alive.